Good afternoon. Welcome back to NASNPROtv. We're so glad you are here with us. Licensed estheticians, spa professionals, spa owners, cosmetologists, nail technicians, and massage therapists. You guys are licensed and we love you. So thank you for sharing your Sunday afternoon with us. We have the amazing, incredible Nina Curtis coming up live. She is a esthetician. She is a culinary chef. She has been a spa owner in Beverly Hills and has had celebrity clients, but currently she is working at Adventist Health in Rosedale, California. She is a wealth of knowledge. And when I say that she is a wealth of knowledge, I'm not kidding. This woman has done more in the industry, in the beauty industry, and in the healing foods and plant-based foods, and she's going to bring it all together on how beauty, consciousness, plant whole foods come together, and we really need to grab our notes, a pad of paper, and listen to what she has to say. So Nina, we're going to bring you on. If you could do me a quick favor, just make certain that any of your live feedback is off. I know you have your earphones on, but this is going to be a great presentation. So we're so glad you're here today, and we are going to bring you on right now. So welcome, Nina Curtis. You are live. So take it away. You are on air.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to sharing this time with everyone and just loving the new technology that we're all having to get used to.
Well, and Nina, you and I have known each other for a long time. I mean, we were in kindergarten, let's say, and now we just graduated. We're both about 29 years old, so
That's about it, and that's what whole food plant-based eating will do for you.
You look fabulous, and I can't wait to hear your presentation. I'm going to go and drink my celery juice while you give us this information. Take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Denise. We're going to be talking about reversing aging with whole plant-based foods. And I know for most of us, this isn't a new thought. It's our oldest diet. And it's one that I think so wonderfully parallels and merges with what we do as estheticians, what we do as body therapists, anybody in the holistic wellness realm is already aware of much of this, but I don't think we can talk about it too much with our clients, our guests, especially at this time, right? So when I talk about reversing aging with whole plant-based foods, I'm really talking about slowing the aging process down, slowing it down and building our immune systems, which the skin, as we all know, is a part of the immune system, a huge part of the immune system. So it truly makes sense that we would be talking to our clients, and let's back up a minute, practicing this ourselves, right? Practicing this ourselves. And I don't preach in the sense that I think everyone should be a vegan. I don't. I'm a plant, vegetable, fruit pusher. People go, well, when did you get into culinary? Because we've known you so long in aesthetics. I started cooking at the age of 8. I'm the eldest of 4. And my mother, had me in the kitchen with her. My dad is a culinary professional chef. So he did catering, and there's always a need for an extra pair of hands. So it was something that I said, I will not do this. This is free labor, and I'm really not into it. But then God has a plan for us. And when you think about skincare and you think about food, and the oldest skincare, the first skincare, where did it come from? It came from food. So it makes so much sense that we would be naturally thinking about whole foods. Whole foods when we talk about our skin. We know that the skin is a mirror of our health. We usually say the body, but it's really a mirror of our health. And those of us that specialize in acne-prone skin care or, skin issues, skin inflammation, yes, skin aging, it's a breaking down of the skin, not just genetically or, with regards to our environment, but endogenous aging of the organs. If we could see that, that's what the skin shows us. And we're not trying to practice medical therapy or be doctors. We are staying in our lane. That's very important. But we all know, as professional skincare specialists, we tend to see things on our clients first. Mole growth and expansion, right? Things that maybe they wouldn't even notice, and they definitely wouldn't be going to the doctor for, because they're just not noticing it so subtle. But we do. The way we see them, the way we study their skin, the way we know their skin, our eyes are really detecting things that seem to be not normal from what we usually see with them. The skin is a great reflection of what's going on inside our bodies monthly. Let's just talk about that as our female clients. You can see those changes that week before the cycle, the 2 week in the cycle, let's say, and then even the week after. So many changes. And the skin also mirrors our emotional state, our hormones, toxicity levels, our nutrition, how the body is digesting and absorbing foods and nutrients, if you will, and how much oxygen, water, and essential fatty acids our body is getting. Let's talk about aging. Aging is defined as the progressive accumulation of damage over time, leading to disturbed function on a cellular, which we deal with, tissue, which we deal with, and then organ level that eventually also gets to disease, and then death. Aging is a complex, multifactorial process where genetic, endogenous, and environmental factors play a significant role. We all know we can talk to our clients about the importance of sun protection, but until, let me back up. Sun protection for the protection of skin damage and the potential of skin cancer, right? And everybody usually thinks, well, that's not going to happen to me. It's not in my genetic pool. No one in my family has that. But the minute we say sun protection, be it sunscreens or sunblocks, are going to help to maintain a beautiful skin and slow down the aging process, then I've had clients that say, give me 4 bottles. So there's something to that beauty connection and food connection. So I talk to my clients about the beauty of food and eating your skincare. So let me go back, excuse me. So here we're talking about whole plant-based foods. I'm not talking about Cheetos. I am not talking about plant-based junk food, heavily processed food. I am talking about getting foods into our bodies as unprocessed, unrefined, and untreated with heat as possible, because we know that the more processed the food, the more we heat our food, the more we're destroying the nutrients in the food. Food in its most natural and raw state even. I was raw vegan for 3 years, and people would say to me, I could never eat raw food. Well, you eat a salad, right? So sometimes we just have to remind people of what we're talking about. And I really like to use the term live food, because you can't get nourishment from something dead. It's that simple. We really can't. And where possible, let's think about organic and wild crafted foods as often as possible. And there's the dirty dozen, and then there's the clean 15. So I am not a believer that everything has to be organic, but your thin-skinned foods, produce, fruits and vegetables that are more possibly readily processed, sprayed with fungicides and herbicides that are going to absorb that into the, let's say, meat of the produce, I would want you to stay away from. So when I can't get organic berries, blueberries, raspberries, boysenberries, blackberries, strawberries, I don't eat them. It's unless I know the farmer and I know they're not using anything in the soil. And soil is a huge thing. One of the very most important ingredients that we can talk about is water. And we all know this, but I don't know that we're all thinking about where we get water from. Yes, filtered water, one. Our body is made up about 60% water, right? The brain, the heart, 73%, and the lungs about 83%. We know this. But fruits and vegetables are rich in water. So if I'm 150 pounds, I'm not, but I'm going to use that number, then I'm looking at wanting to get at least 75 ounces of water a day. If I work out and sweat a lot and lose hydration, I'm going to want to increase that, right? But if I'm eating a high diet of fruits and vegetables, either raw or steamed, not boiled, where we're taking all the nutrients out and all we have really left is fiber and not much flavor, consider that water content. Consider your herbal teas, which are actually tisanes. They're not teas because a tea would actually have caffeine in it by its technical term. Consider that also to be, adding to your water pool if you say. So when I get someone that says, I just don't like drinking water, then I'm going to find out their favorite fruits and vegetables that are high water content and encourage them, yes, as Denise said, to have that celery juice in the morning, to have that lemon water in the morning, to start their morning off so it starts to help the lymphatic system and the liver work better, function better. And then that's going to naturally translate to our skin, and not just the face, the entire body. And water, of course, helps us lose weight, and it helps in weight maintenance, but it's also a appetite suppressant. So if you have soup, let's say, before you have your main course, or you eat a big salad that's rich in water, or you have a glass of water, you're going to be full faster. You're going to be satiated more quickly. So think about water as we go through this presentation. Enzymes are really important as far as helping our digestive system, and our digestive system is so key and linked to our skin. We know this. It helps increase energy and slows down the process of aging. And enzymes are super heat sensitive. So over 118 degrees, we destroy the enzymes. So this is why it's so important to maintain a high level of live foods, not cooked, not heated. And enzymes are the worker bees to help everything else in the body work. Our protein breakdown to amino acids, digestion, assimilation, and, removal of waste. All of this is so important. And that's why, yes, you can take a supplemental enzyme, but just naturally eating whole foods, because of the fiber and everything else in the whole food, is going to make it that much more absorbable, bioavailable, and effective for the body. Sorry, my slides are moving faster. Fiber, everybody write fiber down and start thinking about how much fiber we're getting a day. Our animal flesh does not have any fiber. Our dairy products do not have any fiber. And key to our diet for reversing, slowing down aging, and having a beautiful complexion, soft skin, wrinkle-less free skin is fiber. Fiber is one of the best things we can do for the skin because it cleans us out from the inside out. It helps things keep moving in the large intestines, things that set up inside the body and start fermenting. Think about the waste that stays within the body. You know, if you have clients and you see this on their skin, that they're constipated because of the color of the skin, potentially because of the breakouts. We see these things. If you're looking from a traditional Chinese medicine approach to analyzing the skin, you'll see that in the chin area. If there's congestion, if there's breakout, acne prone breakouts in that area, you can start just seeing potentially how backed up our clients are, and ourselves. I can't, separate us from our clients sometimes. And I would ask my clients, do you have a regular bowel movement? I was pretty close to them. They were quite regular with me coming in, and they'd say, how did you know? Or, yeah, once a week. That's not regular. We should be having a bowel movement after every meal. I'll say that again. We should be having a bowel movement about after every meal, 20 to 30 minutes, stay pretty close to a restroom. If our bodies are functioning properly with everything that they need to keep regulation in the body. Sugar is one of the fastest aging substances out there. It is a drug to me. Everything has sugar in it, hidden sugars in our dressings, and things you would never consider are in our foods have sugar. So fiber is another key aspect to slowing down and kind of absorbing and soaking up, toxins, slowing down the release of sugar into the bloodstream. Fiber helps support our digestive system, and that means the ability to assimilate nutrients that we are eating and help to eliminate waste. So you'll hear people say, you are what you eat, but we're really what we digest and assimilate. We can eat things and they're not being digested or assimilated into the body. There is a huge difference. Chia, flax, hemp seeds are great sources of not only fiber, but essential fatty acids, omegas, that are also so important for the skin, the hydration of the skin, that keeping the skin hydrated, across all barriers. Yes, we want that acid mantle, but that's an oil and water mixture that we're trying to maintain on the skin, and omegas are going to be very important for that. Fruits and vegetables also are very essential for elimination and the fiber content. Fruits are more cleansing, so we tend to want to eat them in the morning, early hours, and vegetables start the rebuilding, but both excellent in their fiber content. As we know, the acid mantle is so important for the health of the skin. Well, the acid-alkaline balance is also crucial for the body. And the blood needs to stay basically at 7.40. It ranges between 7.35, as you can see here, to 7.45, but on average, it's pH'd at 7.40. So yes, the skin we want to keep and maintain an acid mantle, acid-alkaline balance, but in the body, the blood needs to be more slightly alkaline, and we talk about a more alkaline diet. Animal flesh is very acidic. Yes, there are some plants that are acidic. Tomatoes are acidic, but when you eat them, the body processes them and they become more alkaline in the body. A diet too acidic causes the body to draw on alkaline minerals from the bones, and that leads to osteoporosis. And milk isn't a great source of calcium. Your leafy green vegetables are going to be a much higher and bioavailable, absorbing and assimilating source of calcium. And fruits and vegetables are definitely high in alkalinizing the body. And yes, there are some that are acidic, but not to the degree of animal flesh that causes the body to work harder. If we just look at, think about where you're at right now. Think about what your daily eating program is. And then let's take a look at the foundational things, the moderate things, the eaten not all the time, but important in the diet to add to your program. Because people will ask me, well, what are you going to make me give up? I'm not going to make you give up anything. I am going to give you so much to choose from that your body is going to tell you what it wants. And through that process, I call it crowding out. And the things you thought you could not live without start to become less, you have less cravings for them. So leafy greens are so important in the diet. And, you know, we think of leafy greens as lettuce greens, right? Your romaine, your spinach, your arugula, maybe your butter lettuce and stuff. But I'm talking leafy greens that are kale and chard and watercress, and there's a host of others that we want to get into the diet, and I'll talk about it. One of the most simple ways to get them in the morning is in a smoothie. Our vegetables, our root vegetables, our fruits, yes, and mushrooms. Mushrooms are wonderful if you're trying to transition from less meat, because you can take, say, oyster mushrooms, and the technique in which you cook them can make them have that texture and taste similar to chicken, all right? So I can meet you where you are. Proteins and essential amino acids, the 9 that the body doesn't make that we need to get: nuts and seeds, flax, hemp, and chia, sprouts and legumes meaning beans, right? And lentils and peas. Water lentils are coming up, and a lot of research is being done with them because they are a complete protein, all 9 essential amino acids, but they also are found to be the first bioactive source of B12. And if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you know, people are always like, where are you getting your B12? Well, across the board, as society goes, most of us are low in B12, such also vitamin D. But water lentils are proving to be really, really new science. They're not new, but new science as far as its nutritional profile, with protein and, like I said, B complex and many other vitamins and minerals that are so important. And then we look at our quinoa and our buckwheat having the essential amino acids we need. Medicinal foods, when we talk about foods as medicine, we start looking at our algae, our nutritional yeast. And nutritional yeast is made from things such as molasses. So it has vitamins and minerals. It has been said to be a source for B12 for those that aren't getting it from the animal source. But my studies haven't shown it conclusive to be a solid source of B12. So usually I will take a supplemental vegan B12. Now I'm looking at water lentils. Herbs fall into this category of more medicinal foods, microgreens, and wheatgrass juice. I don't do a lot of wheatgrass, but some people love it. But it's very detoxifying. And if someone's very depleted, I would work with them, you know, with wheatgrass. And then, of course, water for all the things we spoke about, but filtered, alkaline. And the most best source, really, besides some of your filtered water, is to add more fruits and vegetables to your diet. I think we're seeing that. You know, you talk about smart water, and people are making a brand and they're selling it and marketing it, where the smartest water is going to come from our fruits and vegetables and the best filtered water we can get, and slightly alkaline again. When we talk about leafy greens, they have the highest percentage of minerals per calorie in food. So we should be having them every day. They are high in protein per calorie, and dark leafy vegetables are super nutritious and easy to add, like I said earlier, to soups, salads, and smoothies. You know, when you go on or you increase your plant diet, there's a lot of chewing. And I like that. I like that because you have to really break down so that the enzymes in the mouth can break down in the saliva with the vegetables to break down the carbohydrates, so that the stomach, that is more acidic, hydrochloric acid, can really break down the proteins and the fats that we're taking in. So vegetables really carry us far in the assimilation and absorption of our foods. Algae we talked about. I don't know how many of us are used to algae, but we have spirulina mask, we have chlorella mask, we have camelith lake algae, again spirulina, that we've put topically on the skin. And there's a thought there, if you wouldn't eat it, do you want to put it on your skin, being that the skin can absorb so much? But algae introduced to your diet are so good, and you can get them in powdered form, add them to your smoothies, put them in brownies. There's so many ways you can get them in your diet, but high in protein, vitamin A, iron, chlorophyll, minerals, and algae would be considered a whole food supplement, because past the process of sun drying them or drying them, there's not a lot of heat that is used in the process, because they want to, or the companies want to maintain the nutritional content. So looking at the different algae out on the market, like your chlorella or your spirulina, is a good way to go. And again, add to your drinks, or even your dressing. So here's the smoothie idea. Drink daily. Have this in the morning. Start replacing your breakfast, a heavy breakfast if you have one. I don't have time for one in the morning, having to get in the kitchen by 5:30. So I'll have my smoothie. Sometimes I make it the night before, but I incorporate my dark leafy greens. And I want to rotate my greens, especially that they're raw. So you want to have one day spinach, one day kale, one day chard, one day dandelion, which is so good for the skin, one day arugula. We're going to get to the importance of sulfur that so many of these greens have. Your chlorophyll-rich greens help to strengthen the skin, heal the skin, heal scars, and so much more. You've got the fiber content, and I've already said some of the greens, but celery in your smoothie, cucumbers, lemons, parsley, apple, pears, also work in the seasons with the different things that you can add to your smoothie, so you don't get bored with it. I've come up with a 30-day smoothie challenge that I did a few years ago on FB, Facebook, before we had all the lives and everything, and people just loved it. And I gave them a different smoothie for 30 days. So it is definitely possible. And they're full of vitamins and minerals. So I think of it as my liquid vitamin mineral intake. Let's go back one. Yes, methylsulfonomethane, MSM. How many of us are taking this? Very important in our diet. Methylsulfonomethane, MSM, is needed by the body as much, if not more, than water. High content of the sulfur is our aloe vera, wild grasses like the barley, the wheatgrass, onions, garlic from our aluminum family, radishes, watercress, arugula, hot peppers are all rich sources that you can get from a whole foods plant-based diet. Needed for the formation of collagen. So this is so important, and you can get MSM in a powdered form as a supplement. It doesn't taste bad in water. It has a very neutral taste, and you take about a teaspoon daily. But I'll take that, but I'll still get these things in my diet. It's important for the just action and for functioning of our hormones, enzymes working in the body, antibodies, antioxidants, tissue supporting, and body proteins. It strengthens the skin, hair, nails, and it helps to repair. So if there's scarring, or if you're working with acne prone skin and they've got acne scars, this is what you want to increase in their diet. It boosts natural detoxification. It boosts our immune system. And it's the foundational mineral in beauty. It is the best beauty product to me in the world that we can take internally. So if you are not currently getting MSM into your diet, do some research on it and see what an important mineral it is in our world as therapists. Fats, essential fatty acids, obviously to keep the suppleness of the skin, to support collagen and elastin fibers, and just the tissues of the skin are seeds and nuts. Fatty fruits such as your olives and your avocados. Nuts specifically need to be soaked to release the phytic acid so that we can absorb them more readily and easily. Not all seeds need to be soaked, but I do soak my pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. You can make a nice chia pudding because chia and flax are so gelatinous. So you can make like a parfait to have in the morning with your chia. Flax I use a lot in my cooking with my baked goods because flax and chia will also replace egg, as will applesauce and banana. But flax for your baking, if you're not using egg and things, those chia flax are really good to replace that. And as I said already, the fatty fruits and vegetables just below here. Legumes, you want to get those. And when I talk about legumes, I'm talking about your beans, your pea pods, your lentils and such. Such a high source of protein, low fat. You don't need to eat a lot of them. Again, you want to soak your beans. You don't need to soak lentils or black-eyed peas. They cook really fast, and you want to soak that bean, again, to remove that phytic acid so that we lessen flatulence. It's not going to happen right away, but it does. The more you soak your beans, the more digestible. So that's the problem with beans when they're not soaked, and you might be getting them from a can, that they're not soaking them, and then you're going to have that issue, which people tend to not want to eat legumes for, especially if they're going on a date. And let's just talk about some of the ABCs of our whole foods. So vitamin A, dark leafy greens, red peppers, carrots, sweet potatoes, that beta carotene that we know, certain products that we take on the skin that turn into or convert it to vitamin A. Same thing, let's get it in the body. B, your rice bran solubles, nutritional yeast, bee pollen, wheat germ, vitamin C, dark leafy greens, kiwi. I'm talking high levels, right? Citrus, acerola, rosehip, blueberries, vitamin D, of course, sunlight, your shiitake mushrooms, button mushrooms. You could be taking a supplement. Vitamin E, dark leafy greens, your rice bran, your tocotrinos, vitamin F, nuts and seeds, and vitamin K, again, your dark leafy greens. And when you're working with whole foods, if someone is on medicines, yes, we still need to be concerned if, what medicine someone is on, but it's not like a supplement. You can still get these whole foods in the diet and then talk with the doctor. Because a lot of times I know they're learning more and there's more of an interest, but still a lot of times when I've talked with doctors or reached out to them for clients, they've said, oh yeah, that's okay. But they don't want you on a supplement that's isolated and a higher content of that vitamin K when when they're trying not to thin the blood or they've got them on blood thinners. You've got to be careful of that. Cucumbers flush the kidneys, detoxify the system, cleanse the bowels and the digestive system, aid in its functioning, rich in calcium, magnesium, sulfur. I can go on. Celery, of course, drink that celery juice, but put it in your smoothies. Get the whole thing. When you make a juice, you're taking the fiber out. So it's going to go right into the blood system. So when I want to use or do more medicinal things with my clients, I'm going to give them juices. Otherwise, I'm going to have them put their vegetables in smoothies. So the fiber content is still there. Barley grass is great because it contains high concentrations of superoxide dismutase. And we all know the importance of that for preventing free radical damage and cross-linking in the skin. Astaxanthin carotenoid is in red marine algae. It's an antioxidant. It boosts the immune system. And there are a couple of small studies out showing that it helps to protect the skin internally out when sun exposure. So if you've got someone super, super sensitive to the sun, not a replacement, hear me, super sensitive to the sun, and you get them, and you can get this in a supplemental form, you get them on astaxanthin before they would say go on vacation where they're going to be out in the sun a lot and then use their sunscreen. You're just boosting their body and their immune system to help fight maybe so much sun damage or so much sunburn if that's their case. And we've talked about algae, but again, algae help to increase circulation. They're one of the highest sources of assimilable minerals. They assist in lymphatic cleansing, drainage, help to heal scars, dilate the capillaries, and then urame, wakame, dulse, Irish moss, spirulina, chlorella. There are many different ones to use for different things. I incorporate them all. So where do we start? Start where you are. Start where you are. Take this information, do more research, and look at how you want to go, and then figure out, is there some way you can incorporate in your business? In my skincare practice, it was all holistic. So I would make my clients a smoothie after their facials, and they just loved it, because so often we're recommending these things, but if they don't know, or we leave them to go to the internet and Google something, they might find something that you weren't quite meaning for them to do, right? So I'm not saying everybody start making smoothies in your practice or as things start opening up again, but think about how you can maybe connect with other company, a juice company, and do promotions that help your clients get their hands on these things much easier. But these right here are things you can recommend to your clients. Start the morning with lemon water to start activating the lymphatic system and the liver system. And when I mean that, it doesn't like turn it on. It starts to support and just helps the body. The body knows when it gets the right key what to do. Smoothies in the morning, as we've talked, but green smoothies, right? Not heavily laden sugar smoothies, not Jamba Juice, not Jamba Juice. Look at the calories and the sugar content when you get a Jamba Juice. And then herbal teas are a wonderful way, and I should say tisane, your peppermint, your chamomile, so many different herbs for working with the body. And then add a salad to your meals, lunch and dinner and soup, because we already know that's going to help to suppress the appetite, but get another form, more water into the body, hydration, and start learning to enjoy raw fruits and vegetables as snacks, like celery sticks with a little bit of your cream cheese and hummus is a wonderful. Have your carrot sticks, right? Have these things available. So when you go or you start having that craving, when you go to reach, they're right there. Exception, dark chocolate, I love because it's high in vitamins and minerals. It's a low sugar content and you can't eat a lot of it. But when you take that, break off that black chocolate, it's so good for the body. We know all the reasons we put cacao in skincare, but just have that so you don't feel like you're sacrificing. It's a small indulgence that satisfies us, but the body's like, I can't take too much of it. Lower processed sugars. Watch for sugars on ingredient labels, just like we watch for ingredients in skincare. Lessen the caffeine. Switch over to teas or tisanes. Green tea, maybe even. White tea, don't drink after 3 o'clock. You'll be up all night. So teas have caffeine, right? Lessen the alcohol content. I never tell anybody to totally take out alcohol unless it's really hazardous to their health. Minimize animal flesh, highly acidic, and dairy, inflammatory, not anti. So you can go to your nut milks and oat milks. They're getting much better than when I started over 20 years ago. Let's take smoking out, period. Let's take smoking out. Cross-linking of the skin, fastest way with sugar to age the skin. And we know how hard stress is on the body. So meditation, prayer, whatever you do. But the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of our dreams. I know every one of us that are on this live right now believes in the beauty of our dreams, because no matter what season, as I call it, we're going through right now, we're still moving. We're still showing up. We are still knowing we are going to rise out of this and rise out of this better. I thank you for your attention. I thank you for joining me today. I wish I could reach out and hug all of you. Denise knows this, but thank you from the top of my heart for joining me and allowing me to share with you the things that I am so passionate about and just how much I love our industry. Thank you.
And I know you do, Nina, and that's why I reached out to you, for you to share what's in your heart. And you're just a beautiful person inside and out, and I just appreciate you so much.
And that's why I reached out to you.
Oh,
For you
we
to
have
share.
we have feedback. And so, but I appreciate you, Nina, so much. And just the information you gave was so insightful. And I hope everyone took notes, especially about like MSM and the fiber and when you're doing number 2 and how many times, because Nina's going to be able to answer all those questions. So let us know where you're streaming in from. Say hello. Share what you do. Are you an esthetician? Are you a spa owner? Do you think that we should be bringing in spa juices into a service? How does that work after COVID? And all that information. So Nina's going to be in the comments. She's going to be able to answer those questions for you. And let me tell you, she has her experience and expertise, not just in food, but in spa. It is beyond amazing. So go in those comments, let her know who you are, where you're coming from. She will connect with you, give you more information, more resources. And we are going to take a quick break and get ready for the smiliest person I know, Jennifer Blaze. She's an esthetician from Pennsylvania and Florida. It's going to be exciting. So quick, take a break, and we will see you at top of the hour, 3 o'clock. Thanks for being a NASNPRO member.